All right, guys, today is iPhone 10 release. My wife and I were able to pick up two of these today. I had pre-ordered the iPhone 10 in black. This guy is the AT&T black model. It's compatible with AT&T and T-Mobile because I paid full price for it, so I could use it on either of those carriers. My wife, we were unable to get her one delivered today, so we woke up early and stood in line at the South Coast Plaza Apple Store. After 4 hours or so of standing in line, we were able to get a reservation to come back, and we finally picked this up around 4 o'clock this afternoon. This is the silver model, so it's silver on the side here, got a different graphic on the top, whereas this guy is black. This silver one is actually the Sprint model. If you pay full price for the Sprint or the Verizon at the Apple Store, you're actually getting a fully unlocked phone that will work on Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. Whereas the AT&T model, this is technically unlocked, but it will not work on Verizon or Sprint because those are CDMA carriers. So it's cool. This guy's a little bit more featureful. We can hand this down to somebody who has Verizon or sell it to a Verizon or Sprint user later. Both of these are going to be used on AT&T though. This is just going to be a quick little unboxing video. Take a look at what's inside these guys, and then we'll have to get it set up, and then we'll come back with sort of a first impression probably tomorrow or the next day. All right, so turn this over. Open it up with their nice little plastic that just breaks away there. And we'll do the same here. All right, go ahead and open that up. Really nice little slide there. We've got our Designed by Apple in California. And that just pulls off. And get that off there as well. So there are the two. Both have black faces. Immediate first impression of the front, you can see the shiny silver on the silver item. The space gray, it's got a black border. It's shiny, but not as noticeable as the shiny silver one. Inside these, you get your nice little hello with a little bit about how to use the new home button, or actually there is no button. You'll just swipe up on the bottom to go home. Talks a little bit about Face ID, where your switches are, 3D touch. So just getting you used to a buttonless front on the phone. Some Apple stickers and the user guide. Well, actually telling you to download the user guide on your phone, and then just some regulatory information on that sheet. Let's go ahead and turn this over. So this is the silver and white. I think it looks a little gray. Actually, it's really pretty though. It's got a great shine to it. It's really nice looking. I'll go ahead and take that plastic off the front. And obviously, well, to me, there is no home button down here. It is just screen from the top to the bottom. And this is the black model, or actually, I'm sorry, space gray. So it's got a glass back to allow for wireless charging if we pick up a wireless charger. We have not done that yet. And that's a really nice phone as well. Got two cameras at the top there, a bunch of sensors under the glass. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 different circles on the top there for the different sensors and cameras. All right, so to turn these on, just hold down the power button. There we got the Apple on that guy. And turn this guy on as well. All right, so we got the Apple on both of those. Oh, those are beautiful screens. Going through the standard multiple languages here. You don't have to obviously choose any particular language. You can just swipe up when you're ready. Before we swipe up on those guys, let's look inside the box a little bit further. You get the standard Lightning to 3.5 millimeter audio adapter. So if you wanted to use, regular headphones with your iPhone, you just use this little adapter. Otherwise, it comes with some Lightning headphones, so you can of course use these guys, plug that in, and also just use those. We're going to leave these in the box. They'll probably sit there until we get the next model, and maybe hand this down to one of our mothers or siblings that might want this phone. The Lightning cable looks like it's one of the shorter Lightning cables. That's probably the 1 meter Lightning cable right there. That's definitely not the long 2 meter Lightning cable. Go ahead and put that away. We have so many Lightning cables in our house at this point that we don't really need that Lightning cable. And we have headphones and AirPods as well, so we don't need to really use those. This is the standard adapter that comes with these iPhones. These guys are, what's the wattage on this? Or this is a 5-volt adapter. These new iPhones actually support faster charging if you use one of the larger bricks that come with some of the Apple products. I believe that if you were to use a brick like this guy with a USB-C to Lightning, then you would actually be able to get a fast charge on the iPhone 10, which is really, really nice. During my first look video, I'll look up the details and tell you what the fast charge actually is. All right, so let's go ahead and drop those in. Put the phones sort of up here front and center. And so we'll swipe up on those. Choose our English, United States. Oh, this is really cool. On the new model, you can actually either set up manually, or you can actually just sort of bring your phone, your previous phone, close to it, and it just sort of says set up your new iPhone. So it shows that right on there, and it says unlock to continue, so I'll unlock with my Touch ID there. It asks me to set up my new phone. Continue. And setup failed. How about that? Error -6753. Don't know what that error is. Let me try it one more time. Turn it off. Swipe up to open. Go English. And try setup one more time. Okay, so it did come up and ask if I want to set up with my Apple ID again. All right, so now it wants you to sort of position your camera. It uses that image, it finishes your device. Awesome. It's asking me for my passcode from my previous phone, so I'm going to go ahead and type that in off screen. So it's just trying to activate. It's really cool. It's already got onto my Wi-Fi here, so it pulled the Wi-Fi information from my old phone automatically over. All I had to do so far was type in my previous passcode. So I knew my passcode on my old iPhone 7 and typed that in on the iPhone 10. And so far the process has been pretty smooth. It did mention that there was an error at the beginning, but I just had to back up a couple times. All right, so this is the new unlocking, Face ID. So I can go ahead and hit continue, and it wants me to position my face right there within the camera, and then you just sort of move your head around until, there we go, all green. So it scanned my face once, wants me to do the same thing again. All right, second scan. All right, so only 2 scans. My Face ID is now set up. It's going through my Apple ID now. Let's see if it asks me for my password. It tells me that there is, so there was a backup. I did my software updates yesterday to iOS 11.1. And the iPhone 10 shipped with an older version of the software. So I actually can either choose to restore from a software or update. Would you like to back up now so you can restore your new iPhone with your most recent? Update backup before restoring. Oh, cool. Or restore. So it's actually just saying, hey, do I want to take a new backup? Maybe if I received text messages or something since this previous backup. 5:55, actually, that's not long ago, so I'll do the update, or I'll just restore from that backup. No need to update it. Agree to these terms and conditions after diligently reading all of them, of course, right? So pop through, read all those if you want, and then agree. And settings from our backup, go ahead and continue with those previous settings. It'll ask me if I want to set up my Apple Pay right now. I love my Apple Pay. I don't want to do that necessarily on the video, and I think that my credit card company has me call every time. So I'll set this up later in Wallet, but I do love that feature. Apple Watch, do you want to use this phone with, yes. I do want to set up my Apple Watch. I'm going to set that up later as well, just because that pairing can take a little bit of time. App Analytics, we'll go ahead and share that. True Tone Display, yes, I want it to adapt to the lighting I'm around. I actually really like that feature. And software update available, awesome. Agreeing to the terms and conditions of the new software update. And hopefully we can speed this up on the video. Actually, 47, wow, all right. 255 megabytes to download with the servers responding right now. This is going in maybe 30 seconds. I would recommend setting up your Apple Pay at the moment that they ask you, because that way it's actually much faster if you set it up during the setup process than later going through and having to remember which areas you skipped for one reason or another. The other thing I would recommend is if you are going to set up your watches, if you have an Apple Watch, set that up during the setup process as well. It'll probably mean you have a little bit more time before you can get in and use the phone, but it's nice to get that all out of the way right out of the box. Otherwise, what I'm gonna have to do is go back into my watch and choose to unpair and repair my. All right, and while this is preparing to update, let's take a look at the back. Already got my fingerprints all over it. So this glass really picks up your fingerprints just beautifully, if you want to say so. If you want to keep it nice and glossy, maybe have a cloth in your pocket. I'm not going to do that. I'll just rub it against my jeans to keep it clean. It'll probably give it a nice little scratches over time. It'll be interesting to see how well the glass holds up to that. A lot of people are going to choose to put cases on their phones. I don't tend to put cases on my phones. I've been very fortunate. Any drops that I've done have not broken the front nor the back. Generally speaking, I drop it if I'm at home. I have hardwood floor that seems to sort of get dented before my phone gets dented, and the carpet doesn't really give it much of an issue there for me. My hope obviously is always that I don't drop it at all. And so I will try very careful not to drop this. I did buy Apple Care. Apple Care on this is $200, and it really does reduce the amount that you'll have to pay if it breaks. So I got Apple Care. I think it's worth it on that guy. So that is the back, nice, and it's almost like a charcoal gray. It's called space gray. So maybe I'll say it's like a space gray. The back of this guy, just one more time. It's really nice white, nice shiny silver on the edges there. And the back just says iPhone, just like the old one. This prior iPhone, right below where it says iPhone, I feel like mine's worn off, but there's actually little regulatory information right below where it says iPhone there. It looks like they've gotten away with leaving that off on this one. So it's really cool. It just says iPhone on the back. Has the Apple logo, no other regulatory information. That's all inside the phone on the software side. So yeah, there's actually regulatory information right there. So they got away with not having to put it on the back. So that's our unboxing videos. We'll go ahead and get my wife set up and finish setting mine up, and then we'll come back with a first look in the next day or two here. Hope you guys enjoy your iPhones and enjoy iPhone Day. Cheers.